Hello friends, welcome to Science with me. My name is Dr. Erica with Rosie Research and we are about to embark on an amazing unit. I'm so excited. We are going to make a little remote control police car or a party car depending on what you want. So just for today we're going to start with the lights that we're going to put in. So you need 2 of these red, green, blue lights. They come in the Elegoo starter kit that we suggested a little bit ago and that we've been also using a lot. And that kit also comes with this beautiful tiny breadboard, and I am pretty sure we can get all of the stuff that we're going to do on here to make our little remote control car onto this little one, which is great because these go together, and then my car will be sort of all one piece with my computer down here, all of my wiring here, and then we're going to also add some motors, and we might even make sort of a 3D printed project where we can put it down here and the motors will attach into that. All right, if you haven't checked out our Tinkercad Circuit tutorials yet, I encourage you to do that. You can build these online. We have all of our Tinkercad Circuit tutorials, and that's what we're using to kind of show you our wiring as we go. And you can also check out our other breadboard circuit tutorials. If you haven't done any circuit building, you could start there. But this is a great place to start right now. So the first thing that we're going to do here is we are going to attach our shield, which is this little guy right here, to our computer. All right, and now to do that, there are different amounts of pins on each side, but the big thing to notice is that these pins sort of go to the bottom here, and there's a gap up here, and these pins go to the bottom too. So we want these bottom pins to go down here. You do want to make sure that as you add it in, you're really careful that the bottom pin here connects to the bottom pin here so that you're not sort of one off and you have one pin open, or you're one off down this way and you have one pin that's not being used. All right, so make sure that those are in. You can press gently on the sides and then you can sort of rock it back and forth or side to side, and that will get it all nice and in. And you can see how great this will be as a finished package for our little remote control car. All right, and then we want to decide what is going to be the front of our car and what's the back of our car. I know I'm going to have to put a battery here if I want my car to sort of be independent from a computer cable like this. So I'm thinking this will be the back of the car because maybe we put the battery right here. And so this I'm thinking will be the front of our car, and we'll put our lights and whatnot up here. So the first thing we're going to do with our wiring, we don't actually need to worry about the ground to the breadboard circuit because we have all of these pins already connected in and we have access to all of these pins really easily right now. So the first thing we'll do is we'll add in our first LED. All right, so here is our red, green, blue LEDs. There is a leg for red, green, and blue, and then there's this extra long leg right here, and that extra long leg is our leg that goes to ground. It's called a common cathode, and with the breadboards, remember these pins going up and down are all connected, so I can't put this in here and then independently control red, green, and blue. I do need to make sure that it takes up 4 columns, and you want to make sure that one leg is in each column. All right, and I think I'm going to put it maybe a little bit down, just like that. Make sure that you take note of where your long leg is. So my long leg is the 3rd leg in for me. So make sure you take a note of that, and you're going to want to make it the same for both of these LEDs. So we're going to add the second LED in next, and make sure that you have the same orientation so that for me that means my long leg is going to be the 3rd pin again. All right, and then one leg per hole, just like that. So we have something that looks like this. Now if you decide as you go in your project you don't like your LEDs being so far up, you can cut these. You just need to make sure that you really take care about the orientation, because if we don't connect that common cathode to ground, we're gonna get some really funny results on this. And if it was working and you cut it and you plop it back in, and now you're no longer getting the results you wanted, that is probably it. And all you would need to do is take it out, twist it around, and put it back in. All right, so we have our LEDs in, and now we're gonna connect these LEDs to ground through a resistor. And we can do that through a little resistor so that these aren't quite so bright. So in our kits, the resistors come sort of taped up like this. They have all different sizes, and this is where the size stamp is for you. So these are 1 kilo ohm resistors, and that should work great for us. You can just pull one out, and I brought some scissors over because it's always nice to cut these a little bit shorter. This is really, really long right now, and I think if we have everything that's really long, our car is going to get sort of like a wiry mess very quickly, and I'd like to keep that from happening. So we're going to connect this second leg, or the third leg down this way, or the second leg from this side. We're going to connect that to ground. That was our long leg. I have some grounds here. I also have some grounds here on this side. I have a whole bunch, it's like my little ground bank. I got 5, and I have a whole bunch of 5 volts here. So what I think I'm going to do is I'm actually going to connect, instead of the top LED like we do in that tutorial to ground, I'm going to connect to this bottom one, making them straight over from that ground bank. Now I'm folding this little resistor so it looks like a staple, and then what I'm going to do is I'm actually going to cut off a bunch of its leg so that it will be much lower. And if I find I need to do that even more, I will do that. And in fact, I think I will cut a little bit more of these legs. I had to make my staple a little bit tighter so that it will fit just the way I want. I want it to go into that third pin over and then into this ground bank. And that will connect it to ground for me. All right, just like that. Now, these columns are connected going up and down, but only up to this gap piece. So we are going to need to take care of that by making sure we connect our 2 LEDs. So here's one LED that goes to ground, and now we need to connect these 2 pieces. And we can do that with a really small little jumper cable. I'm going to grab a little gray one out here, and I'm going to connect these long legs of those LEDs. So right here, let's see, just like this. All right, so now I have the resistor to ground, which goes into that third or that long leg of my LED, and that's going into the same leg over here. All right, and that's really important that we make sure that we don't sort of go sideways on those pieces. So now I'm ready to connect to the Arduino, and we are going to connect what we think is the red leg. We will find out if that's accurate or not in just a little bit when we turn it on. So I think that this one right here at the very edge is going to be our red leg, and we want to connect that into pin 2 of our Arduino. Now, we don't have to go down here to connect it into pin 2. Pin 2 is also right here. So we're going to connect from here in pin 2 all the way over to here. And I'm going to do that with a small little jumper cable, because I want to keep this as clean as I can for you guys to see really, really well. So now I've gone from pin 2 into what I believe is the red leg of this LED right here. All right, and because when this one's red, I want this one to be blue, I'm going to connect the red here to the blue here, so that when red is on here, blue is on over here. And I believe blue is going to be the one on the other side of our ground. So red was on this side of our ground, and I believe blue is going to be on the other side. So what I can do is I can take another little cable. Unfortunately, I can't keep all the colors. And I'm going to connect the red and the blue. I think I could do that with a little bit smaller. But I think I only have an option of much smaller. Yep, so we'll try to make it go, we'll do it with gray, I think. So I'm going to go from this red over to the blue. Now these guys are going to cross over, and that is totally fine. These wires have plastic on them, and so that crossover does not connect the wires, all right? So that's totally okay that they are just like that. All right, so now I have, when this one's red, that one is blue, and we're going to do the same sort of thing. So we're going to connect the blue here into pin 3 up there, and then we'll connect our blue into our red of the other LED. I'm trying really hard to think about what colors and what sizes of wires I'm using, just so that the final part of this project looks really clean. So I'm going to go here. It's really quite handy. Oh, I think that's pin 4 though. All right, so I'm double checking everything, and as I'm looking, that goes into pin 4. I need to move it over 1, make sure it's in pin 3. Let's pull that out and make sure that it gets into pin 3. There we go. Just like that. So I've got going into pin 3 and going into what I believe is going to be the blue leg. We're leaving this green leg empty. If green's your favorite color, you could plug one of these into green instead. All right, and now that we've done that, we are going to do the same sort of crisscross that we did before, where we connect the blue of this LED to the red of our bottom LED. So we can plug this little crisscross in, and that will allow us to have sort of alternating lights and a red and a green, or a red and a blue light that are on each side with only one LED. All right, so I'm gonna crisscross that as well. This almost looks like a little star, so you do wanna make sure that you double check your wires, that they are where they need to be. But you can see here I have 3 wires that are all together. One is going straight across, and that is connecting my long legs. The other 2 are making this X, and they are connecting the red with the blue, or this blue with the red. And that is all the wiring that we have to do today, but of course nothing is happening, and that's because I need to program our circuit. So here we are over in Tinkercad. Here's the circuit that we just made. You can see it looks fairly similar to what we just wired up. We have that star that we talked about, and we have it already programmed, and we can see what's going to happen in our circuit. We'll have the red and the blue switching. In our Tinkercad Circuits tutorial, we wrote the code, so up here is where we can get the code, and that was pretty simple code. We got to use our blocky programming. We set pin 2 to high and 3 to low, and then we waited for a half a second and we flipped it. So then we set 2 to low and 3 to high, and we waited a half a second. And because we wired this crisscross in, we didn't have to do a when this is red, that's blue, because it was hardwired in for us. Now our Arduino IDE program and our little computer that's down here cannot understand this blocky programming. It doesn't work for them. And that's going to be a problem because we want to put this programming on our computer. And the way that we can do that is if you come up to blocks and you click on that, you will see some options with blocks and text and text. And you can choose blocks and text, and you will copy all of this text that's in here. It's written all of the code for us. It tells us that in pin 2, you're going to give a signal out into the world, as well as on pin 3. The computer's going to give a signal out into the world. We're going to tell it to write 2 high and 3 low. We're going to wait for that half a second, and then we'll write 2 low and 3 high and wait a half a second. And this void loop goes on forever, so it's just going to keep looping forever and ever and ever. So we will copy this code and we will go put it in our Arduino IDE program. So here is what our Arduino IDE program looks like. This is what happens when you open a new sketch, and we are going to connect our computer into our big computer through the USB port, and then we can make sure that things are talking to each other properly. So you'll check up in your tools up here. You want to make sure that you are connected to an Arduino Uno and in the right port, and you'll be ready to go. We'll take everything that was originally here when we started our new sketch, and we're just going to delete it, and we will paste in our new code that we can then upload onto the board. So we can check and verify that code to make sure it's all good and that the computer understands it. Anything that you've written with Tinkercad through us should compile just nicely. You also, our patrons at patreon.com/rosieresearch, have access to download this code, and you can copy and paste it in there as well. So to upload it to the board, we'll use this guy. It says upload, and we will wait until it gets there, and then it should turn everything on for us. Ooh, and I don't see it turning on. So we are going to troubleshoot and see what happened here. I'm going to double check my legs, that my long legs are where I think they are. And my ground is connected. Oh, there we go. I just touched that ground and it wasn't quite connected the way that I had wanted it. Now I'm noticing my blue is not quite in, and I'm wondering if this little guy is a little bit too short and is not making good connections. We are going to just go straight across between the reds right here, and we'll go straight across with the blues. Or yeah, these will be the blues right here. And then this is just green right now, and what we can do to that is we will take this guy out and put it to the outside leg. Unless you wanted like a Christmas type of look. which could be a lot of fun. All right, oops, we gotta make a little bit better contact. This one's not making very good contact. Let's get a new one of those out. And we're gonna go from this last leg into 3. We're just changing the leg. Looks like we grabbed the green leg instead of the blue leg. All right, so now I can plug that in there. And now I can get the red and the blue. They don't crisscross like they did in Tinkercad, where you have one red and one blue, but that was an easy fix, and we can still have sort of the 2 colors on our little lights bar right there, which is a lot of fun. I am going to take these out, and I am going to make sure I hold them the same way and cut them a bit shorter. And I'm cutting off that long leg, so they just go a little bit shorter in. And I'm just thinking about the final look of my car. As I am doing that, I want it to be, these guys to be a little bit lower. I think that this will look a lot nicer in the end than having this guy. It'll also be harder to break. This one's really wiggly and this one is not very wiggly. So if you do that, I would suggest you sort of pull it out, hold it in one way, cut all of those legs off just like that, and then you can plop them right back in the same orientation. All right, you might need to do a little bit of work getting the legs spread out the right way. There we go. And that will work for our fun little police lights. We're gonna add a siren over here. We'll put some motors on the bottom, and then we'll add IR control, and we'll have this amazing little remote control car. Thank you so much for joining us in this fun Breadboard Circuits tutorial. We hope that we will see you soon as we keep building on this fun car. Have a great one, and bye, friends.